course, I agree with you that if you look at the financial statements back in 1970s and now, firstly, if you look at the volume, the number of pages, I think it has more than double or triple. Last time financial statements were fairly simple. We just followed the Companies Act. There was law standard or very few standard. And the Act, the ninth schedule, was more or less like a framework for us. So we just present the financial statement purely for stewardship reporting, comply with the law. And that's why you find many years ago, we have the abridged short version of the profit or loss account, not the income statement. From turnover, and then followed by after charging, crediting a few items. But now you find it's more or less full disclosure. Maybe the focus is more towards providing useful information to investors and potential investors. The shift is there in terms of stewardship reporting to comply with law. Now is to provide information that is useful to help the users make economic decisions. So that's why you find that the information you provide must try to meet that objective. And because we follow international accounting standard, we have to adopt all the IFRSs. And I agree with you, IFRSs keep on changing, update. And so much so that you find reporting accountants, whatever prescribed in the standard, you just follow. And I think in the recent years, there has been concern that there is an overload of information such that we just provide information without regards to whether it is really useful to the user. In other words, we don't make our judgment, right? We don't even consider materiality. So sometimes you find a bit strange, the company's balance sheet, 100 over million property, plant, equipment, there's one item, deferred tax asset 100 on the balance sheet. So if you think about it, this 100 or 1,000 compared to hundreds of million, why do you still want to present it? Because it's prescribed in the standard. Right? So why? I think preparers are concerned that if you don't comply by the presentation or disclosure, the regulators may question you. So therefore, we just disclose whatever it is prescribed in the standard. So now the concern is that you overload the information, right? Without distinguishing which is more important, which one is less important. So in the recent years, I think there is a move now to try to encourage accountants or reporting entities to use judgment to decide whether you should present a particular item or not. And you can actually make use of materiality consideration to decide that this item is not material. I don't want to present it, or you might want to aggregate that. That is judgment, and hopefully from now on, the number of pages will be reduced. Because we get financial statement of some companies 200 over pages, as good as a book. Financial statement 200 pages, and sometimes when I read also, I just jump on one page, all the notes. I go to the notes that I want to refer to. Overall, I think it's improvement, advancement, improvement. For first reason is that we put our reporting to be in tandem with all the rest of the countries that have migrated to the IFRS framework. That's a good move, in the sense that if you are going to compete at the international level, we cannot afford to be different. My only wish is that some of those IFRSs being developed, they could cater for some of the peculiar problems that we have in Malaysia. Because IFRSs, they cater for all countries. They don't go into country-specific issue. Firstly, there are government corporations, they would be following IFRS. So that would be accrual accounting, but I'm not sure why governments are not following the full accrual accounting. I thought there was already an issue of private sector framework. It's already effective, right? So I'm not an expert in this public sector reporting, but I think accrual accounting may be suitable, but there may be some cases where cash basis is more appropriate. If you're not really involved in businesses and so on, your concern will be just cash inflow, cash outflow. Some types of government agency, right, where the main concern is more on just cash, then it should be cash basis, supported by additional disclosures. But my view is that it might not be appropriate to endorse a full accrual basis for government accounting. Fair value information, I would think it's difficult. For example, like a public university, the land donated by the state government and so on. I know because I was from University Putra, Malaysia. We have lots of land for cattle, land for plantation, and most of the land are donated by the state government. So now imagine you have to fair value those land and record them as your gain in your profit or loss, or in your income statement. Problem areas those in academic, why don't you try and do a research on this topic? I know there are some publications already about accrual accounting. So it will be an area I think we need further research. I had encountered once some writer basically took the examples in my book, all of the examples in fact, multiplied by 2, change the name of the company. Right? How I knew about it? I was the reviewer of that book. The publisher asked me to review the book, and I looked at it, all of the examples multiplied by 2. I did that. Just advise the writer, I think if you want to establish your name in the long term, right? Write your work. So I don't think it should be an easy way. I'll take example or from the from the other book and then just cut and paste or do some alteration. Develop your own cases, develop your own example. You can refer to the other books, but never cut and paste. Modify the question. I sometimes take examples from the IFRS, but the IFRS they tend to give examples that are more suited to their UK or US environment. So I will try and modify the question to suit to the local Malaysian environment. So there is an extent in terms of copyright. You can put a standard. Then you can put a standard. But not cut the whole, verbatim, the whole thing you cut and paste. That will be plagiarism.
Can we have a round of applause for Mr. Tan and Rakeem?